Yeah.
It's good.
Okay. Welcome to the Jennings Northwest Regional Utility Board meeting. We're having our annual meeting. First order on the agenda tonight is a roll call.
I'm
Judy,
here.
I'm here.
Dale,
Yeah.
Mike, and myself, Marshall's on the way. All right. Have you all had a chance to look over the minutes from the May meeting?
Yes, sir.
Yes. I don't see anything. Did you?
What?
Anything change? Nothing I saw.
Decided what?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay, we have a motion to approve the minutes as written.
Second.
We have a second from Judy.
Good deal.
Is there any more discussion over the minutes?
Nope.
All those in favor of accepting the minutes as written? 4-0. Okay, members of the public, are we expecting someone tonight? Okay.
I know.
Just an FYI, my granddaughters are singing or dancing the Dixon dance at 6 o'clock, so.
I want you to slow it down because I gotta coach T-ball if I get out of here.
We have a conflict of interest here going on. Okay.
Either one of those are outside really hot activities. I sweltered at the park last night. Okay, let's move right into the superintendent's report.
All I've got is everything's going pretty good as right now, and here about a year ago, we had discussed the pump for backup pump for station number 7, and we put it on hold because we was waiting to see where the project went.
Yeah,
And since the score went down on the project, why I feel that we probably need to go ahead and get this backup pump out where we got one. It was the fail. Got a quote from 2 different quotes.
and one of them BBC.
Yeah. The other one's IPW. And I'm leaning toward the BBC because it's a bigger pump and they will bring it and deliver it without charging shipping. And the other company don't. And I had a third quote that I originally got back in July of 25 from S&K, but he won't return my call or answer my calls or return my messages or anything, so I'm just kind of throwing it out.
I mean, the BBC looks, it's got 50% more horsepower and twice the RPM.
Yeah,
They're not much more price wise.
Well, yeah, because it'd be eaten up with the delivery and the shipping, right? Stuff.
on the one from IPW.
Yeah.
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 So we don't want that one.
The one from BBC, I see it's only rated at 240 volt. Is it all, or is the voltage at that site 240 or is it 480?
240.
Do we have any flight pumps that we ever use, or are they way too expensive for our?
We don't have any. I've never had.
So,
Each station, we got a backup pump for 11 and a backup pump for 9, but we don't have one for 7, and they're all different.
all right. I want to discuss later in the meeting under whole business on the financing, what we're going to do with our score and everything like that. But I personally think that we do need to have another backup for that too. And I think this is something, even if we were to go into construction today, that we would be a year or two, before we'd actually be switching things over. And, it's like working without a safety net. So, So are you wanting to just look at this tonight, or do you want us to make a motion on this, or?
Make a motion on it if possible, and we can go ahead and get it ordered and,
Do you know what the lead time is on, to get here?
Do we have enough money?
Yeah.
Okay. I make a motion that we get the BBC.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to purchasing a 15 horsepower pump from BBC. Is there any more discussion over the pumps? These are submersible, aren't they? All right. We'll call to a vote. All those in favor? 5-0. Okay. We're backed up.
and that's all I have.
Okay,
Thanks, Jeff.
Thanks, buddy.
all right.
You have a lot.
Andrew,
Had a pretty good month. Couple new taps that come in, more customers. The only real things I have is we're gonna be starting hydrant flushing next week from the 15th to the 18th. Could be as quick as doing maybe over 2 days, but it could take all three, just depends. And then I'm working on the water loss audit, and then we'll get that validated here pretty soon, because it's due by August 1st to the state. The Alliance will validate it for us, so me and Jeff can actually work on it together, instead of having to do it completely separate. And then the Alliance will come down and validate it for us.
Before he was the validator, and I would have to do the water audit, and we couldn't work on it together because the validator couldn't work on the water audit. So now we got a guy from the Alliance that will do his part on it, and so me and him could both work on the audit itself.
And that saves us honestly more than the membership to the Alliance costs alone for the year. Typically, most validators used to, third party would charge between $3,000 and $5,000 to validate your audit. And this is
So-
something they do for free, included in our membership.
are we measuring what our line loss is on a normal, or just what we're losing on the flushing of the systems?
Everything.
Everything from the difference between what we purchase from Jennings to what we bill out to what we estimate leaks were, hydrant flushing, fires, try to figure out exactly.
And we're working, that same guy that's gonna validate is going to come down this month, and we're gonna go around all of our fire hydrants and get the pressure on them and all that, and the flow rate, and also that'll go in to the next water audit.
Help get our score right.
Yeah.
Okay,
And I've been working with the fire department, trying to get them to give me, whenever there's a fire out here, to give me how many tankers they use. That's all I need, just how many tankers they use. I got the size of them.
Yeah.
And just tell me, did you use 3, 4, 5, 6, and I can do the rest of it. But he's not been very cooperative.
But also, that's not uncommon at the IFA meetings we go to. It's a pretty common thing to have. That water utility we're dealing with is getting good cooperation from the fire department.
He did send me an email saying that they used 8 tankers for the fire that guy got killed in. And that was the only one. I asked him, I sent him an email back, so is that all you had in that month? And he sent me back saying yes, but I know they had one on Magnolia. And there was another camper fire and the field fire, so he's not getting all of them.
so what is, when we have a fire situation here, what is our procedure with that? I mean, do the firemen pay for the water that they draw from
No,
our
No.
system?
no,
No.
they fill up the tankers and then that's part of our water loss.
They fill up the tankers from our system?
Yes.
Yeah.
They
Where
can't,
do they fill up at?
it depends on where the fire's at,
They just use our 2-inch hydrants and fill their tankers with it. They don't,
4-inch hydrants. All fire hydrants, and
they don't have a portable meter to put on where they
no,
really.
probably be too restrictive in that kind of time crunch situation for them to meter that. And minutes count.
But you know, every bit of that water lost to us.
It is water loss to us.
Yeah, we do have a simple hydrant maintenance fee to CSL each month of $396, but it's been in that
Probably
rate
revisit
since
that and then.
that amount has been in place there at least since I've been here, that I remember.
So did
12 years.
the fire department, do they charge customers to come out here to work, to put out
I
fires?
do not know the answer to that.
I
There's-
don't know this.
I know they do in North Vernon.
Yeah, I would assume they do.
So
I don't know if volunteer fire department's gonna charge.
North Vernon is the only full-time, so I think all the townships charge. I don't know.
I don't know the answer to that.
Okay, well,
Andrew, you're good at math. Can you tell us how much it would probably loss that we're taking?
Not without doing it again, I can't remember what we figured for fires because it's so inaccurate. What is it, 2,000 gallons a tanker, right?
Yeah.
One was 16,000 gallons, so it's not a large amount of water, but if there's 10 fires a year, it's 160,000 out of 53 million, that's measurable. So,
One doesn't even take into account the actual maintaining the fire hydrants that we have. I mean, you take the amount of money that we collect just for the maintenance of the fire hydrants from CSO. It's probably not enough money to have a good replacement plan for those,
no, it is,
because when they're probably original, right? So they're all at least 20 years
a
old.
2-inch flush hydrant is about $1,600, so that's 5 months of fees to replace one 2-inch flush.
All the main fire hydrants I know has been there since I've been here, which is 33 years, so.
Yeah, they're probably well past their time
Yeah,
of probably
there's
replacing them.
two of them that are dressers that you can't even find parts for.
that's something I think we need to start looking into, moving up and replacing those too.
I know
We've got a small-
CSL an ISO rating of 9 right now.
We've got a small
That's
leak
awful.
that we fixed here last summer that it's in a T and we got it to stop leaking, but it started leaking again. It was just a real slow leak. But we was kind of considering maybe putting a fire hydrant in there, which would be beneficial and be in your neck of the woods.
Well, so my opinion is of this, and I think I said this a few years ago, we have an ISO rating of 9 because we don't have a full-time fire department, but now that we have the thing, but they're never going to readjust our ISO rating until we have more adequate fire protection, like hydrants in the areas, and we can't guarantee the ones that we got are actually working. And the more $275,000 homes we have bid out here are gonna be great, but if you can't get them insured, nobody's gonna buy them.
All of them that we've got do work. Then we've got the oil to oil them and all that this year, and we're going around painting them yellow. And so got that guy that's going to come and measure the pressure and the volume and all that on them. And
I thought the fire department couldn't use them though because the,
they can fill up
They can't
tankers.
draw from them.
They can't
Oh.
hook a pump truck.
Oh,
to it.
okay. They can only use the
Fill
tanker.
up
Okay.
tankers.
how many tankers do they have?
2,
And we're talking basic, just, Geneva Township.
yeah.
So
But Geneva does have a mutual aid agreement with pretty much every other.
if we upgrade our hydrants, does that help our ISO rating in any, just by upgrading?
It can potentially, it can, and I think it's worth looking at it because a lot of the new homes aren't going on places that homes were existing. They're clearing lots that have never had anything on them
Yeah.
and placing
Yeah.
brand new homes, which means our density is getting higher too.
Three.
I don't think so.
We only have 19 in this entire place, don't we?
Yeah, I mean, there's none on my street.
We've got 11 fire hydrants.
11 fire hydrants and the other ones are the flush hydrants.
18
So,
counting the flush hydrants.
and how many, well, we know, we got what, 1,200 customers, so at least 1,200 residents out here. So we
projected,
have,
it's
we have 11
36,
hydrants for
36.
1,200 places, that's, seems a little lacking.
And we look at our, back when last I priced a hydrant was when you was wanting one put in
Oh, yeah,
at
that's
your
right.
place.
It was what, 7,000?
7,000.
Yeah, I was gonna say, cause we said we couldn't afford to put it, cause I said, yeah, I'll get a fire hydrant in my area, but it wasn't feasible.
So you have two ways of looking at it, the way I see it. You have, and she's probably gonna be ready to smack me. You have the residents of the HOA, obviously, and we bill each of them and potentially can put a fire hydrant maintenance fee there that goes towards replacing what we have and installing new, right, moving forward. But then also you have the HOA, which is where their money goes as well, that honestly, in my opinion, should have planned for this in the future when they were building the place.
I agree with you.
I mean, if you go back 33 years and say, hey, I'm gonna build a place with 4,000 lots on it, and I want 4,000 homes out here, and you say, but 11 fire hydrants is enough, I'm gonna question your sanity, because that doesn't sound like enough to me, like, at all. So,
If they had ready money, what would it use for?
Only goes to Blight.
Huh?
It only goes to Blight.
But there was two different things. One was the Lily part and,
I've heard most of it's due to Blight.
is it?
I mean, part of it might be, let's locate the ones that we've got and maybe get them on a map. And then look at an overlay of residents, like where homes are at, and identify some of the most needed areas first. So the higher density areas has more population, and then you create a map to start installing from that point and then refurbishing what we have. I mean, we only got 11 to refurbish. So, and any ones that we install are gonna be brand new anyways.
Right.
Yeah, to refurbish there, what did you say?
So what would you say the price of a hydrant was?
7,000 for a brand new install.
7,000, so we're 77,000 to replace what we have now.
Well, no, the brand new
No.
install is cutting the line to put in a brand new,
Yeah, that's
To
where
refurbish an
the
overlay is
isolation
probably
valve and-
3-4 grand. About half that.
I don't even wanna contemplate on the price now, that was pre
Yeah.
2020, and everything is significantly increased.
So is this something that we need to put in the budget as a line item for next year? I mean, you know, we have, now, North Vernon charges a hydrant fee.
It's significant, it's like $15
Should,
per
is
customer.
this something that we could do to our billing to add a hydrant fee to pay for the cost of adding hydrants and refurbishing what we have?
My personal opinion, I don't think it's necessarily gonna be something that we as a agency should shoulder by ourselves. Because we have no control over the cleanup of the block and the investment coming into CSL and the money that CSL is making, which is making this a necessity for us. I think CSL needs to have some skin in the game as well. Because if not, we're honestly just gonna be, we're double dipping on the residents of CSL.
Yeah, 'cause what's all the dues money going for now?
Yeah.
You know, and
It's not for roads.
I know that,
I think part of the conversation with CSL and Mike should be around, you know, we're selling lots and having places built. Obviously, if there's deficiencies in that area of the services that we're providing, then we need to identify that as those places are going up and try to,
isn't that kind of on the homeowners association to make
it's,
sure that it's got fire protection?
yeah, not really, but in their original, like when they originally created this place, I mean, it could have been something that was thought of, like, how are you going, like I said, we're an ISO rating 9 right now. If we become an ISO rating 10, which is the worst, people won't be able to get insurance out here. I mean, I can only get insurance at 2 places. That's it. There are only 2 companies that will insure my home just because of the ISO rating. So my insurance was $3,600 last year. And I found another company that was willing to take me on, but it's still $2,400 a year. So I'm paying $200 a month for homeowners insurance, mainly because of that ISO rating. Just getting it down to a 7 would make my rate so much better. For a lot of individuals out here, and stick-built homes are hit. A lot
How do
of,
we find out what it takes to get to a 7?
well,
Like this, how we find out what we gotta do? What, is adding fire hydrants gonna fix it? Is refurbishing gonna fix it? What's gonna fix it?
So I did some research, and one, having full-time fire department, which isn't gonna happen. However, having written mutual aid agreements, which I think we have in the county, that there's written mutual aid between all the agencies. And then the standards is a fire hydrant, a working fire hydrant within 1,000 feet of your property.
Does it have to be one that the pumper can hook to, or?
It doesn't specify, but within 1,000 feet. That's pretty much the standard for fire suppression safety, is that a fire hydrant within 1,000 feet of your property means that you are adequately protected. Because in their mind, if the fire trucks have to leave to go get water, come back to fight, that's time that they're losing, which means more likely your home's gonna be a total loss. Most of the residents out here that have mobile homes are not gonna be able to get insurance anyways, because of the age of the homes. They just won't do it, regardless of what the fire rating is. But we have more stick-built homes being built. We don't run into an issue where we have these nice homes that are being built, but people can't get them insured because the agents, the insurance companies are like, it's too much of a risk,
Are people having a hard time getting insured?
So you would have to have
I didn't, I don't know.
you would have to have the entire facility within 1,000 feet of a thing to drop you couldn't have areas in CSL that were not within 1,000 feet of a fire hydrant.
It's sectionized. So the way they do it, it's a specific area, so it can be sectionized. So
So,
Marshall's area over there, where we was talking, I was talking with us, thinking about putting a hydrant. There isn't a fire hydrant over there anywhere. A little flush hydrant.
and you may not have had too many issues, mainly because the replacement cost and value of your home is low. So the replacement cost of my home is $270,000.
Yeah.
So that may also play into it. If his is a total loss, the insurance company will lose, $150,000 to put a new one back there. But I think once you start exceeding the values, like some of these new homes are going to for replacement cost, is where you're gonna see insurance companies kind of go, that's a little bit too much of a risk I don't wanna take. Because if that's a total loss, it's gonna cost me a lot of money.
okay, so the hydrant thing, not to keep beating a dead horse, but this is something we need to look into. I mean, this is something definitely I think that we need to look into and find out exactly what it takes to get our rating dropped. And see, and figure out how, if this is going to be a huge, amount of, things, and, maybe we can break it off in sections and do partials at a time.
I hate the word consultants, but it might be worth seeing if there's a company out there.
There's ISO reviews.
Maybe HWC can point us in the right direction, or somebody.
Richard Moore does mostly water for the city of North Vernon, but.
Yeah.
That's-
It might be good to ask an expert, because I don't know the actual answer on getting the ISO rating dropped. I know you have to request them to do the review, but there's no point in asking them to do the review if you don't get anything out of it.
Right.
The only other thing I had was to give everybody a copy of the surety bond application. We discussed it last year, but DNO, Directors and Operators coverage, is not quite sufficient for State Board of Accounts on what they want. They still want a surety bond as well. Because they had done some research for me, because they thought our inspectors had thought possibly that coverage would be enough, but isn't.
Do each of us need to fill this out, or do we just?
I believe so from
Agency?
what, Lori told me, and the gentleman from Shepherd, Anthony Golden, I believe his name is.
So each one of us needs to fill these things out.
Yeah, we just get it back next month when you come, and then we'll submit them.
Okay. All right, do you have anything else, Andrew, you wanna go over? Okay. Takes us down here to our treasurer's report. Mike, are we making money, or
Yeah, we're still in the positive. A little less last month. I don't know if that's from, I know we had a couple of expenses outside of the norm, but they've been through
I
payroll
think we
too.
had 5 pages.
Yeah, or an extra payroll. That's what I was wondering. And then, we had that blower motor.
Yeah.
Approved, it was paid out of it. But that's about it.
Okay. Since we are we're still in the black and everything, I would entertain a motion to pay the claims in.
I'll make a motion to pay the claim.
We have a motion to pay claims.
A second.
Dale seconds that one. All those in favor of paying claims? 5-0.
Get 'em, buddy, get her done.
Okay. That takes us to the old business and the SRF update. As you all might know how the scoring came out in our last round of scoring. We ended not even in the lower half. So since that time, I think that we need to I've talked to some people about projects, about the way we could get around this. I mean, I've talked to HWC and I've talked to Bowen Engineering about a BOT project here, where they build, operate and transfer. They come in and basically build the plant, and it's on a T&M basis. To go through the SRF funding, Mike, do you know very much about SRF?
No.
They have a thing called Buy American, Build American, and there's a lengthy amount of paperwork that goes along with every SRF loan. And it requires a lot of, it makes everything a lot more expensive following the regulations that we have to buy all American. Not that there's anything wrong with, but a lot of the valves and everything that we use are German made. So, when I talked to Tim Hunt today about, the possibility of looking into having somebody come in, and our options are pretty much, we either wait till next year and see how we rate again on the loans, but that doesn't do anything with our lagoons or our obligation to IDEM. Or we try to finance the project through bonds. Tim suggested possibly, I think we need to have a representative come in, but some of the ideas he brought up was, instead of us doing the $12 million project at once, sectionalize it up and do a part of it at a time. Maybe our lift station that we were going to rehab, or something else that we, different parts of the project that could be done to drop our initial cost and maybe help our chances of scoring better. If we go to a bond and we bond and finance the whole thing through bonds, we won't get any finance. You can't get financing after you've already, state money after you've already financed a project, can you?
I don't think
I don't think that happens like that.
That happening.
So, I know that we still have IDEM on us about the lagoons. That's something that we have to, that's the only thing that we're really pressing us more than anything.
Do we know how much it's gonna cost to fix the lagoons?
One time it was 1.5 million,
1.5 million.
and then we're still gonna keep adding to the lagoon. It doesn't solve the problem. So we thought at a time it would be better with the plant to have a way to solve the lagoons and packaging our own sludge.
Bainbridge had an idea that was never, ever discussed, and I'd have to dig up the paperwork on it to see what was it, something about doing something to the polishing pond to maintain the solids in an area of the polishing pond. And I said, I'll have to go back and find my paperwork and all on that and talk to him to see what he was talking about on that.
So, Marshall, what are your thoughts on on continuing forward with our project or financing, or what's your thoughts?
I think bonding is gonna be a nightmare. Because when we did our rate changes, you know, we had to, more or less, we were able to absorb the increase in our rates when we eliminated the debt services payment. So if you can just imagine if we get a new debt services payment that requires $40 a month, that means our current bills will go $40 a month.
And this was anticipating just on the sewer side, doubling from 6240 to 120, if it was to be fully financed.
And I mean,
That's 12 million.
and the plant was 9 million, is that right? Or 10?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah,
I think
right
there's,
around 10. And that's kind of the biggest thing we have. So I mean, even if we were to cut out the other,
I'd still be 145.
yeah, you're still looking at a $10 million.
Is there any way, the one lift station we were gonna rehab, it's like lift station 7,
Less than $1 million.
What was our original bond?
30 something, wasn't
The
it?
original idea for the project was 32.
No, I mean, the one we just paid off.
Maybe 2.5 million. It wasn't.
It wasn't a whole lot.
It had only been, it could have been more than 2 million, I think.
It was maybe 2.2.
At that point in time, that debt services was what, $36?
Now, it's 2982 maybe, but that was, I don't know what the sewer bond was. The debt services was on the sewer bond, and I don't remember what that debt services was. But it was almost $30 a month.
Yeah.
For just, but it was like a
project,
$5 or $6 million sewer bond we got forgiven.
yeah, about half the cost. So you just imagine at today's rates and stuff.
$1.5 million bond right now is gonna cost you 10 grand a month on a 20-year bond,
Which plan would only be a 20
which
year
is what we did. We've been paying, we've proven we can pay 10,000, but much more than that, you're gonna be putting it on the bills every month.
So what's our other option then?
Well, our, one of
Wait
the
a
options,
year?
do they do the scoring twice a year on this? I mean, is there another round of, so
No,
it'd be next year, we have to wait a year to
So-
see.
if we look at the project descriptions, if you notice, our project description is just collection system and treatment improvements. All the ones in the top, with the exception of a couple of them, are taking care of multiple issues. Like the biggest project that they have at 39 million took care of septic elimination, new sewer system, regionalization, so they're almost kind of balking in our faces and saying, yeah, you guys want to do a $29 million project, but you weren't ticking enough boxes to do it. But it looks like,
Do we just reapply next year for just us?
I mean, that's
Knock that
essentially,
sucker down.
what we did.
That's what we did this
We got
year.
32 million.
Well, that was the original, it was like 28 or something, or 30 something million, and that was everything, and then we knocked it down to just the plant and the lift station?
Yeah,
Maybe, was Lawrence in there? No, we took it out too. It was just us and the lift, it was just internally us. That's the reason why our population went down quite a bit, like our median household income didn't change a whole lot, but our population went down. I think it was originally 11,000, and it went down to 60 something hundred. Because we eliminated a section of, quite a few sections of.
Doesn't seem like we have much of a choice other than waiting. I don't think we can absorb a bomb.
well, my initial thought was, if we do whatever we can to try to improve our scoring, and we wait till next year, and we don't, and we're still in the same boat that we're in then we're gonna have to make a motion. We're gonna have to do something different.
Mhm.
I'm not sure what, but I mean, I'm just afraid one of these days that IDEM is gonna come out down and we'll have to fork out the money to take care of the lagoons, and it's gonna do us no good at all, and we'll have to, like Mike said, we'll have to take out a bond for $10,000 per month to pay for that. And before we get it paid off with, we'll be putting more sewage back into it. So, if anybody in the state's watching, we need some money. But, really, we need some financial help on this, because I hate to think that, the residents here are gonna have to bear the brunt of this whole thing.
Well, I'm all for, we push it as long as we can, give us more chances to get approved.
And do we have a plan on what to get improved so that we can look better next year?
We can get with HWC
Okay.
or Reedy Financial, one or the other, and ask them, what can we do to improve our scoring here. I think that's a definite thing that we need to do, but,
And just keep it us, right? I mean,
Right.
we're not gonna go through that, trying to get all those people together.
Sometimes persistence pays off. Just keep
Okay.
it little.
We were going to go all the way clear to
Green Acres.
Green Acres and all that. Wouldn't we be regionalizing,
Yeah, you think.
Well, here's the thing, the PPL scores that they give you, or that they issue, there's gotta be parameters that we can read on how those scores are determined. Like, I wouldn't think it shouldn't be just this magical, oh, this is your number. Because I'm trying to find what's different about the projects that are in the top 10 compared to all the other ones. And there's not a whole lot of differences. I mean, in many cases, participant meets SRF affordability criteria, yes or no. Top one is a no and no, same as us. Project is a couple $1 million less than a few more $1 million less than what and their estimated cost to users after the project is less than ours. Their current cost is a lot less than ours. So what, MHI and population is about the same. So why was that one able to get a 92 score and rank out number 1? And we're down here at 60 something. Shouldn't be a guessing game.
It shouldn't be.
Some of the projects have huge numbers, 20, 21, 39 million.
Some of them make sense, like the Helensburgh, it's a brand new treatment plant. Okay, that makes sense on why it probably got the money. It's brand new, it's a need, but some of the other ones that. The only other thing I could figure is there's political influence from representatives and senators that represent that area making phone calls and inquiries and pushing and pressing.
That would be something we could look into too.
Advocating to get the funds into the
Yes.
community.
Hitting talking to our state reps about our funding, All right, so as far as the plant and where we're at with that, I think, we as a group have we definitely, at this time, we do not want to do bonds at this point, do we?
Why not?
Then that would be our only other option then, so.
I think our focus needs to be on figuring out how to improve the score for next year.
Okay. We don't need a motion on this, but I think as a group, that's something that we need to decide, that's something that we're going to look at. That's the direction we want to go. Okay, well, that's, at least we have a plan and a way to go about it. So I will contact Reedy or Andrew, you could call or I could call and see where we want to go. What can we do to help our score? And,
Can we find out where the score, how the scoring is determined? Do we know where
I'll
the,
scour the internet and see if I can find anything,
okay,
okay,
and if not, then reach out. Have we ever had any of the representatives come out here? Like Jennifer or Jean or any of them?
Not here, I think we've had them over at Squire, but not for JRU. I think Jean Lysing would be a good one. She's
Might be-
she's,
We had all of them, it was kind of discussed briefly with them at that meeting, but 2023, is that when we were up there?
yeah,
Well, I think now that we got the bond paid off, it might be worthwhile to put together a little presentation about where we started, where we're at now, what we've done, and what we envision moving forward. And it being, that CSL is growing and getting more, we need to improve
Well,
safety.
Ready, isn't it Ready 3 that is in talks, potentially existing, so.
And then bring up this is the second time we've applied. First time we scored just below getting in, and this time we dropped 50 freaking points and don't really know why we dropped 50 points. Not a whole lot changed other than, now we try to reduce it to make it more appealing, which apparently had the opposite effect.
it did have the opposite effect.
I kind of feel like maybe if we resubmitted with everything we had the first time, it might have actually made it into the top.
But that still would have required the county's participation in. Well, that was 54,000 a year is what their end of it was gonna be or something, or was, I remember it was something like that.
In that range, that county would have to try to contribute toward the bond.
Okay. Well, I think we have direction on where we're headed with that. Does anyone have anything else under old business they'd like to bring up tonight? Okay, does anyone have anything under new business they'd like to bring up?
heck no,
Okay. Well, then at that point,
Dale.
I would entertain a motion for adjournment. You're there, Dale's all over that one, Marshall's got the second, all those in favor?
so here's your